Hi, participants. We are going to get started on our Open Strategy Share Protocol rehearsal so that when you do your assignment this week and your lesson plan, you'll know exactly what to do. So I'm going to refer you to pages 24, 28, and 34 from the reading for examples on how one might complete the Open Strategy Sharing Protocol. Of course, this is contingent always on what your students are working on. Much of the protocol can be completed in advance, which we'll talk about first. So when you complete the Open Strategy Protocol, you're going to be using the election problem that you just completed. So that would go in the problem to pose section. And I have provided you in the Google Doc that I'm going to give you the link for shortly, a link to a fillable Open Strategy Share Protocol. You can download it to your desktop and work through it with your team, and then you can take a screenshot or somehow upload it into the Google Docs so that I can see your work. So you are not required at this time to explain why you chose the problem or do the unpack because I did that for you. So you might think now, how might my students solve the problem? Well, you have already done this work because you solved the problem. So your breakout room is going to put your strategies in this location. Use your group strategies to fill out how might my students solve the problem, and who solved it in this way will happen later when you look at the student work. You want to name the big idea that you're looking for. What do you want to make sure that students understand? For example, in the election problem, it might be really, really important for the student to understand that they are doing figuring out how many the candidate has and how many they need. They are not simply joining those two values together. Maybe you want them to understand that join, change, unknown problems can be solved with addition or subtraction and really focus on that flexibility piece. Maybe you want to talk to your students about what happens when we join or separate and how we use our math power to regroup tens, ones, and hundreds to make it easier to join or separate. So the other strategies that emerge during the lesson are going to have to wait until you have access to the student work. You are then going to decide who solved it that way and who should share. Now, we all know that students can surprise us, so maybe the students did something that we didn't expect. So we're going to put that in the other strategies that emerged during the lesson section. If we didn't anticipate them and somebody did it, we're going to put it there, and maybe we're going to have them share. Finally, you're going to think of a couple closing remarks to wrap up your lesson. What were the important ideas that were discussed? What were some strategies that might be new? And encouraging students to try new ways next time. So, you're going to complete the protocol with your team up until the place where you're looking at who's going to share and what surfaced during the work. Then, you're going to look at student work, which is also in the Google Doc. Your team is going to select 3 pieces of work to share. You are going to complete the protocol based on other strategies that emerged. So you're going to put your strategies in as anticipated strategies. And then if you select students who did something that you didn't do, you'll add more to the protocol. You're then going to plan the sequence for your share and be ready to share your selections and explain why you chose them. Now, of course, if we're not live for this, it won't happen. But we are going to be doing a gallery walk through the Google Doc, so make sure that you complete this with your group. It's always really interesting to see the rationale that teachers use for their share. We want you to be ready for a gallery walk or a gallery sit at 6:20 or 9:20. So here is how we're going to go on a little field trip to the deck. So if you're Wednesday at 4 or Wednesday at 7, it's the same deck. So we're going to prepare for the share. And this is a rehearsal for research-based practice assignment RBP 3C, which you will be assigned this evening. You will also be expected to do this for your lesson plan assignment. So we solved the problem. This is the election problem. And now you're going to complete the anticipatory work in the protocol. So you will have already completed the protocol in these 3 spaces because your group will put your strategies that you solved in that space. Remember why I chose the problem and opening the lesson, those you don't need to fill in. And you just can put election problem in for the top here. You might want to put some notes about what you're looking for in the solution strategies as well. If you need a link to the Google Doc, you can just click right here. And it will take you to the Open Strategy Share Protocol. Now, if you open it, you're going to want to make absolutely sure that you make a copy because lots of people are going to be on this at once. So you're going to want to make sure that you open it up and then make a copy for yourself so that you aren't writing on top of each other. So let's go back to the deck and see what else we need to do. Again, you can refer to the reading, pages 24, 28, and 34 for examples on what this looks like. So you're going to create 2 slides with your team. One slide is going to be the Open Strategy Share Protocol. And the second slide is going to be the sequence of work, okay? And that is how you are going to, you can do a screenshot and shrink them down. So here now is the student work. So you can look through, these are authentic students. They were in 3rd grade when they completed this. You can look through these strategies and determine in your breakout room which pieces you want to share. And you'll notice that each piece of work has like a D1 or D2 or E2 or S1, so you can identify the work that way. So you'll look through this mini class set and decide of those pieces of work, there are about 8 pieces, which ones you want to share. So on your first slide, you're going to put your group members' names and your Open Strategy Share Protocol here on the right side. I've put the link to the Open Strategy Share Protocol on the bottom for you as well. Just remember to make a copy for yourself and download it to your desktop. Here is where you're going to place your sequence. You're going to put share number 1, share number 2, and share number 3. So I've invited you to be ready to share your rationale with the group. But since this lesson was designed, we now have gone to a completely asynchronous place. So if you wouldn't mind placing your rationale in the notes section, that would be super helpful so others in our class can understand why you picked the first piece, why you picked the second piece, and why you picked the third. You will see that each group has 2 slides, and I've color-coded them. So I was thinking about what would be the best way to do this. And so what I'm going to just do is I'm going to leave this open. You can come in, and if you have colleagues in the class, you can come and say, let's go to slide number 1, and you're going to put your name. So you'll have 3 names on each slide. If you are totally okay with being completely random, you can put your name on a slide and see who joins you. We have 7 groups, so we will have about 4 or 5 people in each group. I misspoke. It will be 4 or 5 people in each group, okay? So just make sure that you place your name on the slide, and that is how you'll have your breakout room open. Now, if you would like to connect via phone or via Zoom or email, you will have to organize that with your group members once you're on the deck. So you can type your number temporarily into the deck and call each other, or you can put your email address into the deck. If possible, I will open up the class link so we can open the breakout rooms. I'm just not sure that's going to be able to happen. So I do think that we will be able to facilitate this through working on email. So for 30 individuals, we will have 3 to 4 people in each, 4 to 5 people in each group, okay? Now, if you find that this is really, really difficult and you really need to do it on your own, then you're going to copy the last 2 slides and create a group for yourself. This is not a graded assignment, but it is critical that you do it prior to our assignment, which you will get momentarily. So when you go to the Word document in Canvas that has all of the assignments on it for this evening, you will see that there are 2 Google Docs. One is the Wednesday at 4 Google Doc. You can click on that and you will go to your Wednesday at 4 Google Doc. And if you are in the Wednesday at 7, the slide will be for Wednesday at 7. I will not put the other one there because you will see what other people have done and I want you to use your own ideas. So you can use those links to get to your classes. Okay? And I'll make sure that they're different. So that is what you're going to do for your rehearsal for Prepare for the Share.